Hi everyone, happy, wonderful Thursday to you. And on this day, I wish for you moments of peace, ease, and well being for your different kind of happy. A few quick announcements regarding Saturday morning's events. The 7:45 meditation scheduled to be led by Steve and the 8:30 basics yoga class scheduled to be led by Tina will now be both led by me on Saturday morning. Life has happened, and so we are now having the opportunity to settle into these changes as a result of life stuff, which is the topic of tomorrow's mindfulness moment opportunity together. So Saturday's classes, I should say, as well as the introduction to meditation workshop on Friday night from 6 to 8, which I'm also leading, will give you an opportunity to delve deeper and experience more the teachings that we have been cultivating together the last few days, which has been the practice of deep listening. On Tuesday, deep listening of the body and receiving wisdom from the body as we listen to our body. Yesterday, the practice of deep listening with felt sensations or feelings and receiving wisdom from that connection of deep listening. Today's topic is on deep listening of the mind and the thoughts that occur within our minds. This is a much more difficult practice, excuse me, a much more difficult practice to cultivate because the mind is so subtle. We know the body is much more physical, much more real, so it's much easier to connect with the body. Felt sensations, less physical than the body, and still offers us a way of connection that is more real than those fleeting thoughts that come and go through our minds at such a quick pace. That doesn't mean that we're disempowered to begin to listen to our thoughts. It is a practice, and that skill will increase with practice. And practice requires that we start. So I hope that you will consider starting today to listen to your thoughts and to see what wisdom and what information your thoughts have to share with you. Our thoughts shape how we see things, how we experience things, how we give and take in the world. And so it would make sense that if we want to live a life the way we envision it for ourselves, that we go and explore at the level of our thoughts where the roots of our troubles lie, as well as the greatest opportunities of our lives also lie. I work with so many with private clients, and very often the troubles that they have in their lives are rooted in the way they're thinking in their mind. The stress, the tension, the unfulfillment, the inability to achieve goals and desires all lie at the root of the mind. I'll give you an example. As I've shared before, I grew up hearing people tell me, family and neighbors and well-wishers tell me that I could not sing. And when I hear that message over and over and over again, that leaves certain imprints in my mind. And so any opportunities to sing, even when my heart feels like it really wants to sing, those thoughts come up and inhibit me from making a choice to sing in the present moment. And I'm so grateful that my journey has allowed me to look at those thoughts, to listen to the wisdom of those thoughts. What those thoughts were doing was were trying to protect me from shame, from embarrassment, because I grew up believing that I could not sing. And so once I have that understanding and that wisdom from those thoughts, then I can begin to free myself of a story that is no longer true in this present day moment. That doesn't mean I'm going to sing an opera. It does mean I have the opportunity to choose to sing for me today, because that's what I want to experience as part of this journey. A lot of people want to lose weight, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, and they come to obstacles, whether the obstacle of starting the process of losing weight or having enough discipline to look at their diet, look at their lifestyle, look at how much they're willing to move in their body and achieving the loss of weight. And then the challenge comes where they are not able to sustain that goal. And when we take time to consider those difficulties, whether it be the difficulty of starting, the difficulty of maintaining, and the difficulty of sustaining, are rooted in the mind. If I were to grow up and people told me that I'm fat or that I'm ugly or they are embarrassed by me because I am rounder in shape, those imprints get stored in the mind, in our subconscious. And as young, when we're young, we're so vulnerable that information comes in and we have no skill, we have no wisdom to know, or very little skill and wisdom to know that those are not truths, those are people's opinions. We do not have that capability, and so we allow all those thoughts to come in, and they leave imprints in our minds. And those are the thoughts we end up repeating over and over again that limit us in how we want to experience our lives today. And so, as we begin to take the first steps to listen to our mind, enter your mind with curiosity, being willing to listen to what it has to share, suspending judgment, and having great compassion for the fact that your mind has processed all these thoughts and all these beliefs that other people have placed in there as you begin to unravel this process. So if your tendency is to think thoughts that lead to self-pity, there's a reason for that. And so asking those thoughts a simple question that we started 2 days ago: what would you like for me to know? With kindness, with compassion, with a willingness to just listen and learn. And from that place, you will begin to see clearly more and more where those thoughts have come from, what its intention for you is today, even if that intention is not served by the means that it's going about to get that intention. And even if what it is offering is no longer relevant to the motto that you are living today, those thoughts are there in your subconscious, creating the outcomes in your life that you are experiencing. So, coming back to the issue of weight, if I grew up in a home that was very chaotic, that was not loving or nurturing, and the way for me to connect to some sense of stability, some sense of comfort, some sense of peace is through food, that becomes a very powerful message that I build into my system, that food equals comfort and peace. So no wonder the system would be threatened by me trying to look at my diet, to restrict my diet, to shed the pounds, because it goes against the fundamental survival that I have adhered to growing up, to have comfort and peace. And now, while comfort and peace are great intentions to realize in our lives, food may not be the best way to experience comfort and peace. And so we have the chance to begin to explore with the mind better ways to having that outcome. And those better ways will come first through connecting and listening to what is there, and so that we can then change and shape those experiences to much healthier ones. So be very kind with yourself today as you explore your thoughts. When a thought comes up in your mind, pause, especially one of those thoughts that are very strong. We're thinking all the time in its background. It's like the blood is circulating through us all the time in the background, whether we're paying attention to it or not. But when that powerful thought comes up that produces a reaction in you, pause and ask yourself that simple question: what would you like for me to know? And hold the space for it to offer you feedback and to listen to what that feedback is, so that you can begin to live from an empowered place instead of living from a place of things you learned long ago that no longer fit you today. So go forth, explore, experiment, and experience with love for yourself, laughter for life, and a lightness of your spirit so that you may enjoy your very own different kind of happy. Thank you so much for watching, and namaste.